He had already built a cover story for her. A full, detailed, ready-to-deploy explanation, designed to make the other woman dismiss her before she could say a single word. 2 women, 1 man, and a plan so calculated it almost worked. And I promise you, this story gets so much worse. Okay, so 3 years. She had been with this man for 3 years. Weekend visits, anniversary dinners, whispered plans about the future. The kind of conversations that make you think you know exactly where your life is going. He traveled constantly for work. That was the story. And honestly, it was a good story. Clean, believable, the kind of thing you don't question because why would you? She had zero reason to doubt him. Until she found a key. It was tucked inside a jacket pocket. Small, ordinary, except for the address tag attached to it. An address on the other side of the city. The kind of detail that has absolutely no business existing if your life is what you think it is. And instead of confronting him right away, which, honestly, respect, she did something smarter. She went online, asked if she was overreacting, and got one unanimous answer. Find out what you're dealing with before you say a single word. So she did. On a day he told her he was flying out for a work conference. She drove to that address. 40 minutes across the city. His car, right there in the parking lot. She didn't go inside. She just sat in her car for 2 hours. 2 hours of just sitting, waiting, not even knowing what she was waiting for. And then, he walked out of that building. With a woman, dark-haired, holding a coffee, laughing at something on her phone. And he held the door open for her the way you hold a door when it's automatic. When you've done it so many times it doesn't register as a choice anymore. I'm sorry. Can you just let that image sit for a second? She took photos. She drove home. She didn't sleep. And here's where she does something that honestly deserves a standing ovation. Using the apartment building's public location tags and a few hours of careful searching, she tracked down the other woman's social media. And when she looked at their mutual connections, she found 4 of them. 4 people her boyfriend had introduced her to over the years. 4 people who, it turns out, also knew this woman. Okay, but wait, it gets worse. She sent a message. Simple, direct. I think we need to talk. It's about him. The reply came back in under 15 minutes. And here's the part that made my jaw actually drop. The other woman, we'll call her S, already knew she existed, knew her name, knew the whole story, except the story she knew was this. That this woman was an unstable ex-girlfriend who couldn't let go. That she occasionally showed up trying to cause drama. That she was, in his words, someone to be pitied and kept at a distance. He didn't just cheat on 2 women simultaneously. He built a character, a full backstory, a preloaded explanation for why this exact moment might one day happen. And he made sure S would shut the door in her face before she could get a single word out. The audacity. I genuinely, okay, I need a moment. That night, both women got on a video call. They were both shaking. They talked for 4 hours. Here's what they found out. S had been with him for 2.5 years. He had told her everything he'd told the first woman. The same vision of the future. The same declarations. The same endless work trips running in perfectly opposite directions. When he told the first woman he was at a conference, he was with S. When he told S he was visiting family, he was back with her. A perfectly engineered calendar. 2 lives, folded neatly around each other, with neither woman ever seeing the seams. You think that's bad? They hadn't just been lied to individually. They had been managed, choreographed, kept in separate compartments of a life that looked completely normal from the inside of each one. So they decided, together, how to handle it. No separate confrontations. No angry phone calls blowing his cover too early. They compared screenshots. They reached out to the 4 mutual friends, all of whom were appalled and confirmed they'd had absolutely no idea. And then, they waited. He came home from his latest work trip, walked through the front door of his girlfriend's apartment, and both women were sitting inside, waiting for him. No one who has told this story has been able to fully describe what happened to his face in that moment. The words failed in his throat. Once, twice, 3 times. He cycled through confusion, denial, the opening of a lie, then another denial, all of it, in under 60 seconds. A man watching his entire architecture collapse in real time. And you could see every single floor giving way. He tried confusion first, then he tried denial. Then he started to say something. And stopped. Then he tried denial again. S was perfectly, surgically calm. The first woman was steadier than she expected to be. Together, they told him. They had compared everything. They had the screenshots. The mutual friends had already been contacted. There was no version of this conversation where he walked out with anything intact. He cried. He said he had a problem. He used the word addiction twice, like it was a door he could open and walk through to somewhere safer. He asked if they could talk about it. S looked at him and said, "We are talking about it. We're telling you it's over." Then she got up and left. The first woman told him to collect whatever he had at her place and go. And as he was leaving, as he was literally walking out the door with whatever was left of his credibility, he turned around and asked if she was okay. She told him that was a genuinely insane question. He left. Now, here's the part of this story that I was not prepared for. In the weeks that followed, the 2 women texted each other every single day. They made plans to meet for dinner. They talked about everything. The relationship, the lies, the small moments that suddenly looked completely different in the new light. They had been handed to each other by the worst possible circumstance. And somehow, impossibly, they were becoming friends. No, you should have known. No blame. No competition. Just 2 people who got dealt the same terrible hand and decided to play it together. She described herself afterward as devastated, exhausted, and, strangely, okay. More okay than the situation seemed to warrant. She said she was still waiting for the real grief to find her. But she also said this. She wasn't going through it alone. And that, she said, made more difference than she could put into words. This is giving me secondhand emotions I wasn't ready for today. Because the man in this story thought he was the one building something. Thought he was the architect. But the 2 most permanent things that came out of this whole disaster? He had nothing to do with either of them. He didn't build those. They did. Okay, here's where I need you. Did these 2 women handle this perfectly? Or was there anything they should have done differently? Drop your verdict in the comments right now. I genuinely want to know what you think. Because our team has been going back and forth on this one for days. And if you think they played it right, tell me. If you think they left something on the table, tell me that too. The comments on this one are gonna be everything. Next up, a story that made our entire team go completely silent. No one said anything for like 30 seconds. You do not want to miss it. Subscribe so you never miss a single drop of drama. Stories shared on this channel are inspired by real experiences posted online. All details have been anonymized and rewritten. Any resemblance to specific individuals is coincidental.